right now, going through the channel. Looks like it's going to be beautiful weather for our trip over to Chignik today. It's about a 28-hour run over there, so it takes a while to get there. We, got to make sure we have enough fuel, fresh water, all the goodies, groceries, coffee especially. I'm excited to take you guys along on this trip, and probably the next couple ones. Hope to get some cool shots for you and just give you the insight into what we're doing out here. Here we go. So we are on board the Anthem. The Anthem was built in 2012 by Hanson Boat Co. out of Washington, and it's pretty cool. I actually got to be on the boat when it was first launched into the water. It slid down an old school greased wood slide into the water like that, like how they used to do it, and they're still doing it. And I think this was the last fishing boat that they ever made. I don't know if they are still doing that. I don't think that they are. So that's pretty cool. This boat is owned by my dad, Sam, and his business partner, Matt Hagee. I've been working on it for a long time, and this is my first season running the boat. And what we're doing is tendering, and we're tendering for the 2024 salmon season. And so we don't actually catch the fish. We're just the middleman. We go out to where the boats are fishing and we take fish from them. You'll see how we do that. And then we deliver it back to the processing plant in Kodiak. And we are tendering for OBI this summer. Just wanted to give you a little insight into what we're doing, why we're doing it, and I'm going to be done talking for a little bit, but we're getting to a part where it's opening up. This area is called Strait. We've got Kodiak on the left, and right now we have a Fognak on the right, and then a little bit further down we have Raspberry Island. I guess technically we're not quite to Kuprianov Straits yet, but it's coming up. And it's really beautiful, so I think when we get up there, I will go ahead and put the drone up so you guys can take a look around. Well, a very unexpected turn of events. We had a coolant line crack and start leaking. And it's in a spot that is impossible to replace without removing a whole part of the engine. So we are making our way back to town to go get that fixed. And hopefully we'll be able to turn around in a day and a half or something and get back on our way. I feel like I'm really being tested out here, This stuff never happens on the boat, and it's weird that it's happening the first time that I'm running it, but I don't know what to say. Do you have anything to say?
He's handling it great. He's doing a great job navigating all this.
Will says we need to sage the boat.
Yeah, we're gonna cleanse the boat.
Yeah. See how that works.
Whatever little peripherals I can.
Show us the damage. Where's
right
that? Oh man, that's no good. Found the culprit. Okay. Well, that was a tough couple days, but we're back up and running. and we're headed out. So hopefully this time everything goes well and we get to where we're going. We got a lot of groceries and freight to deliver to these boats, and sounds like there's some more people fishing, so hopefully that means there's some more fish showing up. So I'll keep you posted. Here we go. Good morning. Well, pretty much right in the middle of the Shelikof, which is the strait that separates Kodiak Island from the rest of Alaska's mainland. And it's pretty nice weather. It's a little bit choppy out right now. One of the crew members is experiencing seasickness for the first time, which that always sucks. Thankfully, I don't usually get seasick that much anymore. Usually, at the most, it's just a little bit of nausea, but that's really no fun. It can take all the excitement out of it, and it can take a lot of energy out of you as well. But we're almost to the worst of it. There's a little valley over here on the mainland where the wind kind of funnels through, and so it can, there's a little bit more weather in that section, and we're almost past that, so it should get nicer here in a little bit, but it's a long ways from Kodiak, It's we're about a day and a half of travel in right now, or rather, half a day of travel in right now. And we came down the west side of Kodiak and pretty much punched straight off the end down by Halibut Bay. So for traveling, what we do is we all take turns on wheel watch. And so I usually drive first because it's where there's the most traffic, and then I go through Uzinki and Whale Pass, which can be pretty tight, and when you're going through those spots, it's best to have a little bit of experience. And then after Whale Pass, Jade came up and she started driving the boat for 3 hours. We try to do about 3-hour shifts at night, just so that everyone can get enough sleep and it's not too long, because it's really not good to be driving the boat when you're extremely tired. We do have a watch alarm for that though, so it's set at 10 minutes. Sometimes it's set at 5 minutes if it's necessary, but usually 10 minutes is good. And it'll just sound a little alarm up here in the wheelhouse if you forget to hit the reset button before it gets to the bottom of that 10 minutes. And that alarm is, you can kind of hear it downstairs, but mostly it's just to wake the person up that's up here, or remind them to take a look around. And if that alarm goes off for a minute, then it sounds the general alarm, which is super loud and everybody can hear it. And so that's so that, like, if someone's driving the boat and they fall asleep and they don't wake up, that's like one of the worst things that could happen, is just running this boat into the rocks, or into another boat would be even worse actually. But that's what we have that for. And then, so after Jade went for 3.5 hours, then she got Will up, and that was probably around the head of Uyak Bay. And then Will went for 3 hours, I was asleep for that, but probably got somewhere down around Halibut Bay. And then River was up here for the first bit of crossing the Shelikof, and then we just repeat. So here I am again. So we're in some really nice water right here in the lee of Sutwick Island, and we're still quite a ways out from Chignik, but we're just tanking down now so that we can start to chill on it later today, and so that the temperature gets down to about 33 degrees before we start putting fish in the tank. And we don't have to keep the chiller on the whole time. It's really good, the insulation in the tank, so once we get it down to temperature, we might have to chill it one more time before we start taking fish or something like that. But that's what we're doing. It's a beautiful day, and I'm hoping in a little bit here I'm going to get the drone up so you guys can just check out the ride. Well, a big part of tendering is delivering freight to the boats that are fishing out here. We're quite a ways from Kodiak or any main port, so we've got a lot of groceries for people right now. We've got some gear and things like that, so we're just about an hour or so away from Anchorage Bay, which is part of Chignik. And we're going to be delivering some goods to some people. We'll probably stay in here tonight and then head out to some of the fishing grounds tomorrow to pick up some fish. So it's a beautiful night. We'll see you there. Good morning. I was just delivering a couple of packages to one of the seiners. They came out here from the harbor. And they told me that there's a baby fin whale hiding inside the harbor from orcas. And so we're not going to go in there, but I'm going to put my drone up and we'll probably be able to see it right there. So let's check it out. Tied up here for a while, and basically how it works is we have a long hose connected to a pump, and we put it in their fish hold, which is full of salmon, and it just sucks the water and fish into our pump, up through the dewatering box, and then onto the sorting table where they sort the different species of salmon into different bins and weigh them. We get different prices for the different species of salmon per pound, so that's why we do that. And then it goes into our fish hold, which we've been chilling, and it's nice and cold to preserve the freshness. Well, we offloaded 2 boats last night, late. 1 boat this morning, and we're on our way to pick up our last boat, and then we're headed back to Kodiak. We do not have very much fish on board. It's been really slow, and it's really unfortunate for the fishermen and the plant. So I really hope that there's a late run for these guys, but we'll see how it goes. You never know, but it is getting pretty late. This is probably one of our last runs out here. It's the 22nd, and our contract ends July 25th, with the exception that it could go longer. We're just waiting for the boats to get back from Bristol Bay that are going to continue tendering here, and then our contract is over. So I'm guessing we'll have a trip or 2 more, but we're getting close. So I hope you're enjoying the video. We've got a little bit more to go. All right, here comes the memory and getting ready for them.
I was gonna let you tighten yours up a little bit more.
Well, as you saw there at the end, our pump decided to throw a fit. So we had to use the brailer to get the last bit of fish in the tank. But we got it all on board and we're headed back to Kodiak. So we've got about 28 hours back to town. And now it's pretty simple, really. We just take turns doing wheel watches every, 5 hours or so. I turn the chiller on, make sure that our tank is staying down to temperature. Don't really want it to get over like 34.5 degrees. Usually on our way back we'll do some cleaning, make sure everything is nice and clean inside the wheelhouse and in the galley, clean the bathroom, which is called the head. And when we get back to town, we'll have some projects to do. We'll have to figure out what's going on with our pump. And also there's a couple small hydraulic leaks that we will need to address. It's never good to have a hydraulic leak. One, because you don't want that going into the water, into the environment, and two, it's expensive stuff and you don't want to be losing it. Well, we found the culprit to why our pump wasn't working right here. This seal has come undone from its flapper here, the aluminum flapper. And there's also some cracks in here. And that is no good. Won't get a very good suction with that going on there. Had to take this piece off to get to it, but we'll be able to replace that, no problem. So, easy fix. We love those. All right, good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock p.m. Traveling all night and all morning. We've made it across the Shelikof, and as you can see, it was our roughest trip yet. Thankfully, we had a good angle on the waves. You really want to be going not directly into the waves, straight perpendicular. It's good to have a little bit of an angle. So we were able to do that perfectly. What you really don't want is to be going like parallel to the direction the waves are coming from. It's called being in the ditch, and that's when it gets really rolly. They weren't big enough to where it would be dangerous or anything like that. It'd just be really uncomfortable. So made it across. It's a nice day. It's just windy and a bit rolly, but we still have a really long ways to go, probably about 12 hours to get to where we're going. Our first step when we get into Chignik is going to be to offload all of this freight so that when we're getting fish, it's not going to make all of that stuff all nasty and fishy. But yeah, I'm not sure how the fishing's been, but I guess we'll find out when we get there. I know there was like 50-mile-an-hour winds in the lagoon a couple of days ago, so nobody was fishing then. So hopefully it's died down a little bit. So we got all that freight taken care of back in Chignik, and now we are headed west to go get some boats this evening. We're gonna offload some fish. I'm gonna stop using names of places because I don't want to give away any secret spot. But it's not really that big of a secret, I don't think. But anyways, we're just passing by a couple seiners here on the point. Looks like they're just about to pull up the bag. I might be able to get a video interested in how seining works, I've got a couple of videos about that I'll put a card up here for, and a link down in the description as well if you're interested in learning about how that works. Alright, we're getting close to the spot here. I can see them fishing out here on the cape, and we're just going to come into this cove here, anchor up, and wait for them to come on over. There's a chance they're going to come over right away, so just having the guys and Jade get everything all set up. Just switch generators. If we use our big generator, I can turn the main off and it's enough to run all the hydraulics and everything without it, so we save fuel that way. It's kind of nice. But yeah, beautiful evening. Let's go buy some fish. The boys are ready.
We are. Could be our last, I think it is our last little adventure out. Pick up some fish, put them in the tank, sort them.
Well, that's a wrap on this one, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video, maybe learned something, enjoyed the views. We're headed back to Kodiak now. Gonna offload our fish and then get ready to do some cost recovery. So stay tuned for that video. Should be pretty exciting, should be fun. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.